something very drastic is happening in Kenya. You remember that guy who does computers, the computer boss? Yes, he's bringing stuff for women in Kenya. So the women in Kenya cannot get big anymore. You know what I'm saying? Big is big stomach. This Men Foundation is bringing sterilizers for women in Kenya. You better find out about that. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. Today we're starting with Kenya. Okay, Kenya is right here on the map. It's a beautiful place and lovely people. Now, this man right here, well, you don't say his name, because if you say his name, you get shadow banned in most cases. And being shadow banned is basically they don't block your video. Okay, they just slow it down. They just slow it down. Let's say you have 1 million followers. Not 1 million will receive the videos. Maybe just 5,000 will receive the video because blocking is just too blatant. Now, what's happening right now? The man we knew to be a scientist or expert about human reproductive system. Crazy is that? And especially that of black people. How crazy is that? Yes, his foundation has introduced a new hormonal intrauterine device, IUD. You know what's IUD? You know that thing, right? That women put inside to stop you from making them big. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to merge things so the system doesn't pick it up. Well, they may as well just pick it up, but yeah. So IUDs, things that women use to put inside so that they don't get big by you. Now, he's presenting IUDs to Kenyan women that's going to keep them from having babies for 8 years. Yes, 8 years. We gotta dive into this. So there are 2 types of IUDs right now available. There's the copper IUD, which releases copper ion that are toxic to your babies. Get that? They prevent fertilization. So basically, is when you do that with your woman, okay, who has that copper IUD, what happens is when you release your babies, when they go, they die because of the copper IUD. So it's neutralized. The second one is the hormonal IUD. The hormonal IUD releases small amounts of progestin hormone, which thicken the cervical mucus and sometimes stop ovulation. That changes environment around the woman. It has nothing to do with your baby being poisoned. So what's happened is the woman's body reacts in a way that your babies are unalived. So these are the options that they have for the Kenyan ladies. Or the other targets, or let me say the other people that they're trying to help, because they're very nice people, obviously. I mean, we're just thinking about you, America, they think about Africans. I mean, it must be very, very nice. They're looking at people who have anemia, okay? Ladies with anemia, anemic people lose blood very bad. They have issues with, I'm not going to get into the scientific stuff of it. I don't want to, you can research about that. Check on Google, you're going to get the responses. So basically what he's saying is when you use this IUD inside you, it prevents the ladies from bleeding profusely when it comes to periods and stuff, situations like that. They say many women with anemia will be unalive when they go give birth, because that's most cases you lose a lot of blood. And so he's trying to prevent also those situations with the IUD that he has. So basically, the man who's a super genius with computers has now become a super genius in body reproduction system. Interesting. Now, his foundation has committed $200 million for Kenya only. How amazing is that? They've also paid an institution for clinical trials and research. In September 2024, they granted approximately $4 million to FHI 360 to analyze continuation rates and cost effectiveness of the broader social return on investment of hormonal IUD. Investment, my brother. What investment is there? The return on the investment. Where? In Kenya, Malawi, and Nigeria. So basically, the man that you know is very smart with computers has now become very smart with between legs. He wants to help you by bringing your IUDs. You can put inside its hormonal IUDs, which will change your body structure in a way that those babies don't come to life for 8 years. Yeah. So if you take it for 8 years, nothing is happening in your life. And he's paid some institution to follow up with the people in Kenya, especially make sure they're actually using it. Are they really using it? Is it available? Well, government is making available these IUDs. It is for free in some places. So let me recap. Okay, this is a man that we all know that's been to Nigeria before with the goal of helping Nigerians in a very other situation. You can check that. I'm not going to say you need to check. They went to Nigeria, his institution, to help Nigerians to resolve some issues that Nigerians were having at the time. When they brought that helping hand, some other things happened. So they basically brought medication to Nigerians, which unfortunately was not necessarily explained correctly to the Nigerian receivers. And among those people, some people were unalive. So they took them to court. So matter of fact, Nigeria at some point banned him from coming in. You know that? Yes. They banned him and his organization from coming in Nigeria. But now he can't go to Nigeria. How? Well, you can imagine Nigeria, it's all about money. Surely it's about money. So some money was paid by somebody and now people forget about it. And we cannot not talk about the past, because we only in India, he went to help Indians because he's a nice person. After helping Indians, apparently some bad things started happening to Indian people. You know, India has a lot of people in the world, right? A lot of people. So you need to give Indian things that helps them as well. And India had a court order against him at some point. Well, we don't know what's happened with that. I guess when you have a lot of money, not many things happen to you. In Kenya, he sponsored something to help women against tetanus and cervical cancer. Yeah, so many ladies took, you know what I'm saying, to protect themselves. Then later on, reportedly an independent service took a sample of the stuff they were giving the Kenyans ladies for testing in an independent laboratory. What they had found was within those stuff they were administering to Kenyan women, there was substance that will get them not to have babies. Yeah, and they said that it was a mistake. It was contaminated. It was not on purpose. Well, we believe them. We do believe them. They wouldn't have bad intention. Why would they? Why would they do that? Why would they spend so much money just to arm some little Africans who have done nothing to nobody, who are not even willing to become a competition to win those? I'm just saying. Now, things have happened in the past. It's crazy because I think rationally, if somebody has done something to you in the past, you tend to be more cautious about what they do.
Kenya, as you know, sir, remains central to our U.S.-Africa policy. When we do something in Africa, we do it in Kenya first. And there's a reason for that. It's because of our shared interests and alignment on governance, on rule of law, and democracy.
Well, not in Kenya, because recently in Kenya, they made a decision to accept GMO seed coming from the same individual. I mean, look at this parliamentarian person speaking.
It's a specific type of maize which Americans have eaten for 30 years. Are we trying to say that Kenyans have better, they are more specialized than America?
So he's basically saying that just because Europeans have used it for many times, we can use it too. I mean, do we have the same structure when it comes to stomach? I mean, look, I'm just saying nothing bad. When you eat certain food that is not for you, sometimes you get reactions. Sometimes it's not good for you, right? Some people are allergic to certain things, right? You know, some people can process dairy easier than others, right? They say people in Scandinavia can process dairy naturally with no problem, as opposed to people in Southern Africa. Just give you an example like that, you know? So how do you know because GMO worked for them will work for you necessarily? And the other problem with GMO is, well, if somebody gives you a seed that's GMO, okay, you buy it from a GMO company, you plant the seed. Let's take a stupid example, orange seed or avocado seed or something like that. Once you put it on the ground, what happens is your avocado grows. Once the avocado is out, you try to open the avocado, take the other seed and plant it for the next avocado to come. Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because it's been changed in a way that it protects you against bad weather, heat, and rains. But if you take the seed to plant it, it's not going to grow. So what do you need to do? You need to go seed them again and purchase from them. So it's basically subscription. So you used to have a natural agricultural ground where you grew your own crop. All of a sudden, you're told to buy GMO seed because it's more adaptable with your climate. You use the GMO seed and all of a sudden, you cannot replant your own things anymore. Now you become a subscriber. You have to go to them and buy from them so you can plant. That's the difference. Remember, in Africa, Africans used to take seed and share with neighbors and friends. It's just like, creating bond. You share with your neighbor the seed. That's where you can also plant the seed and have a crop. You share your seed with your cousin, but you can't do that anymore because when you buy these seeds, intellectual property, when you do that, you're breaching the law. They will take you to court for that. But two, you can't replant the seed because the seed is sterile. These are the things that, you can't not talk about these things. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, let's get back on this. The IUD, which is coming to stop you from having babies because you're making a lot of babies, clearly. Or else you don't know how to protect yourself. Your pull-out game is not very good, so they need to help you out. So I didn't mean to. It sounds good, doesn't it? You need to strengthen your game. Anyway, so they're talking about Kenya, Nigeria. Nigeria, you can understand, is 220 million people. It's a lot of people. And it's a problem now. Why is it a problem? If 220 people stayed home, that's not a problem. You can have as much as you want. But if you're having so much babies that they need to go elsewhere so they can have a life, like Chinese people, they need to go in other communities imperatively to have a life. That becomes a problem, especially when they go to other communities and the communities are not very happy. Now, you are forced to have people ejected of your country because there's too many of you. Very little opportunity. They have to go to other communities. Now, when they go to other communities, they don't know how to merge with the community. They're bringing the loudness of their community. There's nothing wrong with being loud. Just be loud at your house. Now, if you go to other people's community and you try to make them feel like they're stupid, which is the most reported thing about my brothers from Nigeria, they report that Nigerians trying to make other people feel stupid, especially Africans, like they don't know Nalebi Mumu. Now, when you want to go to somebody's place and you want to make them feel like they're mumus, they're not going to be happy with you. Now, that's a problem. Having Nigeria grow and grow, it's a problem problem because people have issues. I'm not talking about, it's not me. You can go check online. Okay, Kenyans have things to say about Nigerians. South Africa has things to say about Nigerians. Ugandans have things to say about. Ghanaians are asking Nigerians to return. Maybe that thing should be gifted to many Nigerians to use. I'm being realistic here. I don't remember Kenyans trying to, and I'm not trying to divide people. I'm trying to talk about Africa in entirety. Okay. Anyway, let's get back on track. So the idea is simple. He wants to come to your country and give you some of the stuff for free, because in Kenya already, they've been rolling out these UDI that you're going to apply between other people's cervix so that they don't have babies. And obviously, people in government, mostly in Africa, they don't give a continent about you. It's all about their deal. What are they getting out of this deal? Certainly, that's how it goes. So the interesting thing here is that they're trying to do that in Namibia as well. Okay, they tried to do that in Namibia. It's reportedly, President of Namibia refused to accept this meeting with the organization. Now, it's interesting. If you go online, you'll see they're trying to whitewash it by saying, no, this is not true. The government did not refuse. The thing is, once you go online, you're researching something and you see fact checking, you know there's something. If you go research stupid things, you will not find fact check. You will not find it. Go research why a kid go eat banana. You will not find fact check because it makes no sense. It's always things. If you find fact checking, you must go deeper. Go find out. So what's been reported is Namibia has refused to see them. And obviously, for political clout, you have to do something about it. God bless.